Hey guys, how are we doing? It's Crypto Insight UK here, bringing you back another YouTube video. So today, we're going to jump into everything that's been going on. Obviously, yesterday we had a big liquidation candle. I think we had an 11% or nearly a 12% red day yesterday. 12% red day yesterday. First time we've seen this in a long time, maybe since May of last year. We're going to talk about what the possibilities are for Bitcoin and crypto going forwards here. Do we see a bear market, a prolonged bear market, a short bear market? Do we see a V-shaped recovery? Do we see a slow grinding recovery? What are the possibilities? I'm going to show you all the different possibilities and give you some different narratives as well. And then you guys can make your own mind up as to what you think is most likely. I'm not here to do that for you. I'm here to give you my opinion on the market and show you the different possibilities. But as always, we'll work together and see what we can find. And yeah, a few more insights on the market. We're just going to jump straight into it. So first off, we're just going to look at Bitcoin. To be honest, Bitcoin hasn't really violated any major levels. We obviously lost our recent highs back from January there and February. So, I mean, our recent lows. So we've set a lower low here, which is a negative trend. If you're setting lower lows and lower highs, then that's obviously a downtrend. We have actually set a higher high, but we have now set a lower low. So basically, we're in a wait and see period right now. We haven't violated the lows from last summer. So we've got the low of July the 21st, 19th, 20th, 21st sort of area at $29,190. And we've still got the low of the 21st of June at $28,800. Yesterday we came down to $29,700 and we're back up at $31,700 right now. So oftentimes when you see a big red candle, you do see a green bounce, and what we've got to work out is what's going to happen next. And let's have a look at these options. But first, let's have a look at XRP. XRP is a bit different. It actually did lose the lows from last summer. And I have one little chart that I do want to show you because I think this is following it very nicely. I think this really could be screaming for a Wykod accumulation. I'm going to show you why. So in a Wykod accumulation pattern, we have a preliminary support, an automatic rally, and then some secondary tests of that support, and then consolidation, a spring where we come down, come below the supports, and then we bounce out of there. And to break and to see a sign of strength, you need to break the high or consolidate on the high, come back test, and out we go. So what that would look like for XRP, well, here's the primary support, here's a secondary test. Now I've got this spring. Could we come out and break this high, come up to 190, come back down to 168 and push out of that zone? That would then spell a Wykod accumulation for me, and it would look like this. It would look like a slow grind up to here, down to here, and out we go from there, and that's the strength, and off we go. Could that happen? Potentially. Who knows? It's just a suggestion. And Ethereum is another one. Ethereum didn't actually lose even its January high. So we've got three different things happening in the market here. We've got Bitcoin lost its January high. We've got XRP that lost its I said high, I meant low. Bitcoin lost its January low. XRP lost all the lows for last year. So anyone who's holding XRP right now who bought in the last year is probably underwater. And Bitcoin held its summer lows but lost its January lows. So it's all chop and change in the market right now. If you follow Blockchain Backer's channel, he was really calling for this level here, this key level of $2,159 not to get broken. He thinks we could see an alt season between now and October if that is the case and we do recover from here, which I think is valid TA, and there's definitely a possibility. I think the DXY is really struggling with breaking this key resistance level, which has been set from 2017. Yes, we have poked above it a few times, but we haven't really had a daily candle close above there. We're getting a lot of wicks to the top and the bottom, meaning that it's a bit uncertain as to which direction this is going to move. This heavily relies on things like commodity prices, the stock market. We've got tomorrow is Wednesday the 11th. We've got the CPI meeting, Consumer Price Index meeting, where we're going to see what the inflation numbers were for last month in America. This is my potential perspective on something that could happen in the market. This is one of my first scenarios, is that this is almost a bear trap in here for Bitcoin. We get the CPI tomorrow. Inflation's gone down. the Fed then try and save the stock market with everyone's pensions. Obviously, if the stock market goes down too much, some pension funds are going to collapse. And we see then a rally out of the stock market and a short-term correction, meaning this is the short-term correction, and we start to push on to higher highs because the consumer price index, inflation is lower than it was the month before. It gives the Fed the option to loosen their grip a little bit, let the markets run riot a little bit further, and we have a blow off top and then probably correct again. That's my first option. And before we get into some other options, I'm going to talk about Raoul Pal and his thoughts on this. He wrote a good thread yesterday, which I thought was important. So, just to remind or warn everyone of this one, it's still heading lower for now. Oh, this is not the right one, sorry. This is not the right one, but it's the same chart, so... Here. Macro update. The SPX is now very close to pricing in a near immediate recession. ISM below 47 is signal is usually. Expect growth to collapse. So, this is his chart. ISM's come down. So, let's see what the next step is. The next step is the great unwind in oil. If this line goes, then inflation expectations, which are hugely correlated, will fall. He's basically saying that commodities are so overpriced right now, or potentially, that this could fall below this line here, and that will bring down inflation, but basically it's going to be too late. He said, then we should see yields fall while equities, crypto and commodities see a full liquidation over the next few weeks. Then the Fed pivots a la 2018, but it's too late, job layoffs are coming, house prices are likely to reverse somewhat and the economy will contract. So basically Raoul Pal saying, be blooming careful because within the next 2 weeks we could have a complete capitulation event. And I think that's a massive thing to take into consideration, guys. I don't think people like that get it far wrong. And I think it's always something to take their perspective into consideration. And that's something that I would highly advise in this situation. I'm not saying to change your game plan. I'm just saying to have a tactic in case something like that does happen. I don't know if it will or it won't. I don't want to put my eggs in any basket right now because we're going through some different options. So, as I said, I think there's a possible V bottom here with CPI coming out being bullish tomorrow. Maybe a consolidation or a slight push up today. And then we see what happens with CPI tomorrow. If CPI is bad, then we really are in rocky territories, guys. We might continue a downtrend tomorrow. So that's just something we've got to wait and see. We've then got a small bounce, which is what I think would happen. If CPI is good, I think we could grind out of here and come up to at least retracement levels on Bitcoin at some point up towards that $60,000 mark. As long as the Fed play it right, if they step off with the tightening, they may be able to save things. If CPI is bad, we might have a small bounce and continue to come further down for Bitcoin. We may trick people in and around this area here, 25, 26,000. This support may be here, 24k. Set a bear trap and then come back to retracement levels for Bitcoin. Definitely a possibility. We may come down to those levels there and we could crab sideways for a long, long time. And when I say a long, long time, I'm talking 180 days. And I say that because last time we had a capitulation candle for Bitcoin on the previous bull run. We'll go to that now, which I have talked about a few times before, guys, is in this area here, look, back in November of 2018. In that time, we capitulated about 50% in 33 days. We then stayed at that level for about 180 days and then the price was reclaimed. So if we have a look at that now, 50% in 33 days, we've already had a big drop anyway. You could already say this is the start. We're up at 48,000, so we'll go 50%. It brings us down to that 24,000 I was talking about. Look, 24,000, just the 33 days. If we say this is an extended cycle, then it could take longer to come down. 33 days would be around here. We're obviously further out than that time period already. If we say it's an extended cycle, the time is always the hardest thing to tell. But if we say that we're down here for 180 days, was the point that I was trying to make, If we just look for 180 days from there, boom, it would take us to September-ish time, which is conveniently when the regulations come through for crypto. So maybe we have some sort of bear period until then. That's a potential play as well. Next, we have an all-time high after some kind of consolidation collapse. So we could really turn over here and then bounce back straight up towards an all-time high. And that would really trick everybody. So these are the things that I'm really like, I've got my eye on these situations. That would really put a spanner in people's works, because I really don't think anyone's got a clue what's happening right now. You've got loads of content creators who have said, oh yeah, like, I told you to take money out of here. I don't remember anyone screaming at me to take money out of there, to be honest. I really, really don't. I think people have been waiting for a blow off top. I think most people in the market, including macro investors, were talking about 100k Bitcoin. I think a lot of people pivoted on things they've said, and they might have said something like, oh, make sure you always take some profits on the way up. And they're really playing on that book now, but no one really knows what's going to happen going forward. So things that I would keep your eye on, because I think will have come in soon, which may help or deter from the situation, is a spot Bitcoin ETF. I think we see one maybe this month, maybe next month, but that's in the US, and I think we see one very, very soon. I think that this recent capitulation in the UST gives the SEC and Congress all the rights over stable coins. I think they may come through and go nuts with them. I think this flash crash yesterday might give the SEC a bit of wiggle room in terms of taking control of the market, maybe a bit more in the short term. We'll have to see what if any, repercussions come from that. Other catalysts for the market, we've got the Ripple lawsuit. I think that could settle at some point soon when people are least expecting it. That's normally what happens in crypto. If you've not been here for a while, guys, is like everyone has one narrative set one way, which is just like this, the market at the minute. I want to show you this Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. Today, our Fear and Greed Index is a lower sentiment than it was yesterday. We're back up 5% for Bitcoin, nearly 6%, and 8.5%, 8.15% for XRP. We're 1 point lower on the Fear and Greed Index today, which makes me think that people don't think this is the bottom, but people think there's a bear market coming. Often people are wrong. I don't know if that's the case today. But yeah, we had huge volume yesterday for this capitulation candle. But already today, we're probably not halfway through the day yet. But we're about halfway through the day actually. We are exactly halfway through the day, but we're further than halfway up on the same volume as yesterday, I'd say. So same sort of volume coming in. Can we retrace that candle? I don't know. If we do, that would be a very bullish sign for me. If we completely engulf that candle, that is a very good sign for a bottom. We've got ETH 2.0 is going to come out at some point this year, towards the end of the year. We've got legislation coming out from all different countries, including the big countries like the UK and the US. We've got macro events like the war. Can they be positive or negative on the market? They can be both. We could have some sort of resolution. It could escalate. We've got supply chain issues. Could we sort them out? Could crypto assist in this with the regulations that are coming out? We've got all these things to take into an equation. Also, we've got currency problems all over the world. We've got the Bank of England who have said that we're going to see 10% inflation rates in the UK, making the British pound weak. We've got Europe in an energy crisis because they get a lot of energy from Russia, making the euro weak against the dollar. We've got the Japanese yen protecting their 10-year treasury bonds and letting their currency depreciate in value because they basically have to if they want to protect the 10 years. Meaning the Japanese yen is weaker against the dollar. It's normally a lagging indicator against the Chinese yuan. The Chinese yuan has supply chain issues right now. Also weakening against the dollar, or they all have been over time. But they've been weakening against the dollar when the dollar, in my opinion, isn't necessarily too strong. People are just panicking and looking for somewhere to hold value while other assets lose it faster, and they've been coming to the dollar. But the dollar, the DXY, has been really struggling with this key level of resistance. Can it break above that? Or will we have a sharp retrace? If we have a sharp retrace, I think we'll have this explosive rally in crypto. I think if we have a engulfing candle today and a sharp retrace in DXY, this could be the time, guys. I think it'll catch everyone off guard. I think everyone now thinks that we're going into a prolonged bear market. It's all I see on Twitter. That could be something that really would catch people off guard. And obviously Fed meetings. If the market reacts too badly to anything that's going on, the Fed will step in and try and do something. Will it be too late? I don't know. I actually did call this price out yesterday because I saw the gap in the S&P. There was a gap here, and we closed that gap yesterday, and now we look to be opening a little bit higher today. So market open today is going to be very interesting to me. What the market does in general today is going to be very interesting to me. Is it a time to accumulate? Where do we deploy capital is the next question. Is it time to accumulate? With the cash that I've got on the side, I'm going to be putting 20% of my cash in today. Okay, 20% is going in today, and then I'm just going to wait for 2-3 days. We're going to wait and see what happens in the CPI meeting tomorrow. See if our inflation rates have come down. If they have, great. I'm going to let the assets ride. I'm not going to deploy any more of my capital. I've already got big bags. If inflation is higher than it was last month, which is possible as well, we come down further, and then I may deploy some more capital, and I will let you know when I do that, guys. But basically, guys, stay safe out there. Don't get tricked into any sort of extra FUD. If the market is going to come down, let's use XRP for example. Where's the lowest price we can see it going? Can we see it coming to 34? I don't know. 32? Maybe. In a real bear market, maybe 25. And this is like sort of areas that we were in 2017 before our run up. So again, is that likely? I don't know. Is it probable? I don't know. Will we have a preparation plan for that? Yes, we do. We're going to dollar cost average on the way down, and that's how we play this market, guys. Over a long period, if you're a hodler, you dollar cost average on the way down, and we dollar cost average out on the way up. So with all that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a bit all over the place. I haven't really given you too much solid information because I am sitting on the sidelines watching what's going on. When I know more, keep me followed on Twitter. Like, I tweet out on there a lot. It's at Crypto Insight UK. This is me on Twitter. Obviously, I put shorter videos out over there on TikTok. I've just given you my view, some of the things I've been talking about with some people recently, and I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I hope it's helped, and I'm sorry it couldn't be more definite. When I have anything more definite, or I lean more towards one sort of thing than the other, I'll be back with a video. No worries about that, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Peace up, A-Town down, as I should say.